Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, last day of the week. I hope you have had a productive week and are looking forward to a great weekend. My name is Margie Remmers-Davis. I am the founder and CEO of Acadian Accounting Education. And this is the live stream that we do every week. It's a free class that we teach every week inside of our free Facebook group called the QBO Gym Locker Room. I'll talk about that in just a minute. Lots of good mornings, lots of good mornings. I always like to start us off by asking who is here for the first time. I tend to, when I do these calls, like treat everybody like you've known me forever, and I always forget that there are new folks. So we've got a Karen that is brand new. Hello, welcome. And we've got Joe that is welcome. Jacqueline. I have a friend who pronounces it Jacqueline. So I assume you're Jacqueline, but because she's been unusual. Joel says, I've been here the whole time. Fran is new. All right, so Mark is relatively new. Awesome. Well, we are delighted to have you. Today is August 1st. So that means that there are a couple of new and unusual things. Levy, is that how you pronounce it? Or is it just Craig? Is your name is backwards? Anyway, well, we are delighted. We're delighted to have you. This is today a little bit of an unusual live stream because we do something special on the first Friday of the month, which is today, August 1st. And we also do something special in August. And so let me, man, I'm like, I don't know what to cover first. All right, let me cover this thing first. And then we'll like talk about like the locker room and all that stuff and we'll get started. Okay. So my birthday is August 16th. And a number of years ago, I don't even know how long it's been at this point. Joel, my husband, he's the one that posted in the chat. He's like, I've been here since the beginning. Yes, he has. So a couple of years ago, I don't even remember how long it's been now. I randomly posted in our Facebook group that that it was my birthday, and instead of making wishes, I'm granting them. And I posted this on Facebook or in our Facebook group, and I had no idea that it would turn into this big like birthday celebration. And I started giving away courses and giving away stuff, and I felt like Oprah, and it was so amazing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this again. And Sherry, it's August 16th, so 2 more weeks. So I started this tradition in our company that sorry, Siri for some reason thinks that I wanted to talk to her. I started this tradition in our company of doing a big giveaway in August. And then what happened was people just started to become, how can I say this in a polite way? They started to be a little needy. Abby says greedy jerks. Mark says ungrateful. I don't know. Here's the thing. I to try to curb this one year, I gave a big speech about if you were a fairy godmother and you had to choose among, people who all had the same wish, how would you choose? How would you choose the person that was going to get the wish? And we all agreed. Oh, Christy says entitled. That's a good one. Um, so we all agreed that we would give the gift to the person who was already working the hardest, right? Because that's the person who has already demonstrated that they are going to do this no matter what, and that all they need is that final push. That they that we did a webinar. We did a webinar last week, earlier this week. Oh my gosh, time's flying so fast. And we had somebody comment that that they were brand new, and for now, all they were doing was the free stuff. And and my thought is, well, that's wonderful if that's true. But I don't know that you are. Like, are you doing all the free stuff? I'll talk about it in a minute. We have hundreds of free exercises that are here. We have a free class that I do every Friday. We have a free challenge that you can do to get experience. We have free courses that we give you. Are you working? Are you actually doing those things? If you purchased a course from us, are you actually working through the course, or did you just buy it and it's just sitting on the shelf? Are you showing up to the study halls? Like, are you doing all of these things? And so I just want to challenge. I'm not entirely 100% sure that I'm going to do a birthday giveaway this year. Um, and I just want to see. I just want to like, maybe I will. If I do, it'll be 2 weeks from today. And so I just wanted to plant this seed, and just I just wanted to plant the seed right now and say, if I do a birthday giveaway and you want to participate in that birthday giveaway, I expect that you rise up. I expect that if you purchased a course and you want the next course, that you have actually made headway in the course that you purchased. I expect that if you haven't purchased a course and all you can do right now is the free stuff, I expect that you have done everything, every free thing that you can possibly do. Um, yeah, I just want to see. We're just gonna see. We're just gonna see. So today I'm planting the seed, and and I will. Chris says challenge accepted. Yeah, and we're gonna see over the next 2 weeks how many of you can really rise to the occasion. And I want you guys to put yourselves out there and show me that you are serious about this. All right. So that is my August 1st announcement. The other thing we do on the first of every month is we do a drawing, and I will explain how people get entered in the drawing in just a minute. As part of the locker room, you get a free QBO QuickStart course. This is, by the way, as soon as we get access to the new interface, this is the first course that we're going to be updating, because this is like the intro course. So this is going to be, so everybody will want to revisit this course. Everybody on the call right now, if you are live on this call, you have access to the QBO QuickStart course. Everybody gets it. When you signed up for the locker room, we asked for your email and we emailed it to you. So if you cannot find it for some reason, write to support@Acadian, AKADIAN, and we will help you find it. We'll resend it, whatever you need. And oh no, Kalina's getting page not found. Even our test drive new interface being released in 3 days. I need to help my, oh, good. That's what she put. That's what Corey put in the fabulous. That's what you put in the in the comments. Woohoo! All right, Kalina, you need to be using what everyone else has had success with is acadian.com/QBOA. Okay. All right, so hopefully that's all squared away. So that's your QuickStart course. Then we also, as a member of the locker room, you have access to over 100 free exercises. And those can be found if you go to, oh, my screen looks different today. All right, so here is, okay. So there is a tab here that says featured. If you're on your phone, maybe you need to hit in the upper left-hand corner, go to the hamburger icon. If you're on your computer, there's the tab, but then there's also these tiles. So this tile right here that says over 100 free hands-on exercises, that's where you get the link to all of the exercises. Now, all of the exercises are the old interface, and we have the team in place. We're ready. We're like, we here at Acadian, we're like on the starting block, like on the track. We're all like waiting for that new interface to come, and then we're gonna get all of our courses updated as quickly as possible. QBO QuickStart will be first, and then I don't know, I'm not in charge of it. Our person who's in charge of it will tell me like what to do, well, what to do next. But anyway, so that's how you get access to the exercises. All right. Now I'm lost. Okay. So, and then also, of course, as a member of the locker room, you also get to be on this free live stream, our free class that we hold every week, Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern, where we cover an exercise of the week. So that is outside of the 100 free exercises, or sometimes it's one of the ones and we just highlight it. But anyway, we alternate topics. So every month, so every Friday, like we have a schedule, and I know that there are a lot of people who are new, and you're brand new starting out. So we have some very basic courses, I'm sorry, basic classes in the earlier and the end of the month, in the earlier part of the month, and then they get increasingly harder toward the end of the month. So today should be because it's the first of the month, today should be an easy exercise, but it's not. We're going to go over some foundational stuff because today we are talking about unearned income. The reason I picked this is because we are the reason well, there's a number of reasons that I picked this. One of the reasons I can't tell you yet. I really wanted to announce it today, but I can't. But this is we're going to be talking about debits and credits. Debits and credits is a foundational thing that you need to know. When I first got started, like many of you, I signed up for one of those guru programs. And in that guru program, I was told all you have to do is get your QBO Pro Advisor certificate, and then you'll know everything about QBO, and then you can go get clients. Okay. I did not learn debits and credits, and I did not think, why am I sharing my screen? We need to be having a conversation here. Okay. I did not learn debits and credits, and I did not think I needed to know debits and credits because I was like, the software does it. Like, why? Like, I'd never taken an accounting class. I was like, why is this necessary in life? And it wasn't until there were two things that happened that made me realize that I needed to learn it. Okay, well, three. One was that I got a client and I found that I had to do some journal entries. And when you do journal entries, you have to know what to put on what side. So that was one thing. And I was like, oh, well, but the accountant told me what to do, but I didn't know what I was doing. The second reason is that made me think, oh, I need to know debits and credits was at that time, the what's now the level two pro advisor used to be called the advanced pro advisor had a question on the test about debits and credits. And I remember I don't know what I did at the time because I didn't know it. And it was not something that was taught in the Intuit training. They just expected you to know. And I was like, I don't know. And I guessed maybe, or I don't know what even happened, but it was part of the test. I don't think that they test on that anymore in the pro advisor ones. There might be one or two in the Intuit bookkeeper one. But anyway, so that was the second thing. But then here's the most important thing. Here's the most important reason why you need to learn debits and credits. So just a little, I know some of you are new, just a little bit of history on Acadian. We developed um, we got our start with creating guides that would help people get their pro advisor certification. Remember, I told you that guru said to me and all of us that the first thing we needed to do is get pro advisor certification. But the Intuit training, the free Intuit training that was provided was so awful. It was so hard to wade through. It was like reading a text, like having to learn something by reading a textbook. And most of us don't learn very well from reading a textbook. I know, like, I have a brain disorder that makes it difficult for me to read. And so I was like, this is awful. And in my former life, I developed training for proprietary software, and it was a medical software. And so I was like, I could do such a better job than this. And so I started developing these companions to help people to take that stuff that's just like flat and turn it into content that was engaging and fun and easy to learn. So that was where we got our start. We still have those companion courses. I know a lot of people are on the call have gone through those and found success. And then what I heard was people said, well, I took the test, like I'm certified, but I don't actually know what I'm doing. Like, what does a bookkeeper actually do every day? And so I said, oh, well, I have all this experience creating exercises because I've always been like the hands-on person. You can't learn how to ride a bicycle by watching a video. So I always had these hands-on exercises. And I said, well, why don't I just turn the these exercises into a full-on simulation of being a bookkeeper? And so that's why we created what we call the QBO Gym. And the QBO Gym is, if you've ever said, I wish that I could be an intern somewhere, I wish that I could shadow somebody and see like what being a bookkeeper is really like, or I wish that I could get more practice actually using QuickBooks Online, then that's what the QBO Gym is for. It's simulated practice. I like to say that we teach bookkeepers like NASA trains astronauts. We put them through simulations. So you get to be a simulated bookkeeper for a year. It doesn't take you a year. It only takes you about 42 real-time hours. It's about 3 to 4 hours per month, like per month's worth of content. And you get a certificate at the end that says you have a year's worth of experience being a bookkeeper. And so you can do that in just a couple of weeks. That's the QBO Gym. So we said, oh my gosh, this is such a great training tool. People love it so much. They're learning so much. Let's start introducing this into accounting firms. Let's talk to accounting firms. Like maybe they want to train their staff on, using these simulations, but even better, maybe they want to hire our people who have already gone through the QBO Gym. And so we created this, what we call this Booksmatch dashboard. I think we should have it up. I don't know. I don't know where it is. I'm so discombobulated, guys, because I'm used to Oh, here it is. I'm so discombobulated because of the whole sample company thing. All right, so let me just share my screen real quick. Share that one. There we go. Okay. So we created this proprietary dashboard called Booksmatch that basically shows you off as you're going through the gym. It shows you off like here's all of the skills that you have reinforced, the things that you've actually done. You can click on anything to find out more details of what you actually learned. So Teresa, I guess, who we picked today, is here's the troubleshooting that she verified. It compares you to other people. It ranks you based on how much knowledge you've achieved and how quickly you're working through the program and how consistent you are. So we developed this Booksmatch profile, and so we went to the accounting firms and we said, look at all these amazing people, don't you want to hire them? And they said to us, but do they know bookkeeping? Do they know debits and credits? And so after we heard it enough times, I said, oh, I guess we better teach that. So we developed our foundation, our bookkeeping fundamentals course called Bookkeeping Fast Track, because we wanted to get you up to speed as quickly as possible on all of the bookkeeping stuff, all of the debits and credits and stuff underneath all of the clicks in QBO, understanding why you are creating transactions the way you're doing. Okay. So, and we go deep, deep, deep on debits and credits. So today's lesson is from our course, Bookkeeping Fast Track. And I suddenly thought there was a sale going on, but I guess not. If you guys check the newsletter, because there's something happening in the newsletter related to Fast Track. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, so, and if you're not getting the newsletter, by the way, support@acadian.com. You know, we have all sorts of issues with email. Um, but anyway, so today we're going to be talking through an exercise that is that is from the foundation. It includes debits and credits. And but the thing is, this topic is also on the level 2 Pro Advisor exam. Now, we're going to go deeper today than you have to for the level 2 Pro Advisor exam, just so you know. But this is a topic, okay? And let's see how we get to it. All right, so for those of you who are subscribed to the gym, if you have earned 250 points, then, and you can check your points here, by the way, is what the gym looks like. It's all gamified. It's all super fun, lots of bells and whistles. Like I said, I'm all about taking that information up off of the page and having it be fun and interactive. And so everything is gamified, and you can find out how many points you have by clicking that little arrow to pull up this drawer. So this account that I have has 105 points. So I would need 250 points in order to unlock the exercise of the week. Okay. So if you're subscribed to the gym, but don't have it unlocked yet, use the link that Joel is putting in the chat or has in the chat already. um, and that's fine. If you're not subscribed to the gym, use the link in the chat. If you are subscribed to the gym and you have 250 points, then that's when you want to use the link that's in here. Okay. So we're going to go here. Uh-oh. Hope it's there. There we go. Phew. All right. So we're clicking here to learn about, we're talking about prepayments. And if you saw my email about today and my post, this is an unusual situation in which income is actually considered a liability. Um, so here's our situation. Okay. Craig now offers an annual gardening package. He normally charges $200 a month for gardening services. However, if customers prepay for the year, they get 1 month free. Diego is the first customer to sign up for the package. We're going to track Diego's purchase in QBO. Okay. Now, how much, let's see, it doesn't say in the scenario. Let's see how much are we charging for, just scroll. So it's buy 12 months, get one free. What's the amount? How come the amount isn't that? Okay, so it's $2,200. Okay, so he just made a sale for $2,200. Tell me, somebody in the chat, tell me why we can't just mark that as income. All right, tell me. I'm gonna let you pause for a moment. Oh my gosh. I just discovered that I can make your texts bigger. Ha 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 ha. All right. Exactly. Because it's unearned. So Annabelle says it's not yet earned. Jan says unearned revenue. Uh, let's see, Diane, because he has not earned that yet. Uyi says because he hasn't provided the service yet. Here's another one, Las Vegas. I don't know what your name is. It's not realized income. Exactly. So we have the money in hand, right? But it would be disingenuous. It would not be good to show that on the profit and loss because technically we owe that money to, we don't owe the money, we owe work. We owe what we're giving in exchange. We owe that to the client. So because we owe it to somebody else, what should that money be? Where should we put that money? Yes, matching principle. That's from Gap. Thank you, Carl. Where should the money go? There we go. Randy, very good. Liability. Sherry, liability. Excellent. Good job, guys. So because we still owe it to somebody else, we're going to put that money in a liability account. And then what's the process for, like, how does it become income? How does it become income? Because right now we owe it. Haha, Joel, good job. Each month when Diane says, each month when he does the work, Mark says voodoo magic. Yeah, exactly. So as you do the work, or as Craig does the work, then we're going to transfer that money from that liability account into the income account. And because there's no, well, there didn't used to be. And because there's no transaction to be able to do that in QuickBooks Online, we have to use a journal entry. Okay. Now, QuickBooks Online did recently, they created, there's a feature called, it just escaped to my brain. Uh, anyway, somebody can put it in the chat because there's a feature now that you can actually create products that do spread this out. But we're learning it old school because we need to understand what actually is happening. Okay. All right. So hopefully our sample company is working. Let's see. Dum bum bum. No. Let's see. We're going to try it again. Acadian.com. This is how we got it to work before. QBO. Isn't that how we did it? We got in as the QBO link. Refresh the page. I know I have it in a different window. Oh, look at that. Thank you. Whoever said that, Christy, thank you. All right. So now I have my sample company open. Okay. Now, all of our exercises here at Acadian are created using a software called Scribe. And Scribe provides a Google Chrome plugin where we can uh, Google Chrome plugin that allows you to use our exercises in an easier way. So in with the exercise, if I scroll over to one of the white, oh, I forgot to show you here. You go to the Chrome Web Store and you load this software called, or this extension called Scribe, and you have the sample company open. Oop, not that one, this one. Okay, when I click this little Star Trek badge, and then I'm going to click confirm, and look what happens. Now you get to see the sample company and the exercise right next to each other. Okay, so we've loaded the sample company. Okay, so now what we're going to do, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create the sales receipt that captures the money coming in from Diego. Okay, so right here, we're going to click plus new, and we're going to select sales receipt. Okay, under customer, we're going to choose Diego. Oh, did I say this before? So use the link in the chat so you can follow along. And then if you have I did say that, if you have the gym and you have 250 points, you have to use the link inside the course in order to get Booksmatch credit. Okay. All right. All right. So Diego Rodriguez. Okay. So under product to service, we're going to have to create a new product. It's going to be a service product. I'm on step 5. Okay. We're going to type annual gardening package. Is going to be the name. Under description, we're going to say buy 12 months, get 1 month free. Okay. Under income account, we're going to select add new because we don't want it to go to our services income account. We want it to go to that liability account. So we have to create the liability account. Okay. We're going to call it deferred service revenue. Under account type, select other current liabilities. Under detailed type, you'll notice that deferred revenue is already selected. So now we're just going to select save. I hope everybody peed and got a snack because this is going to be a little bit of a long of a long class today. Only because after this, we're gonna see what it looks like in the new interface. We don't have a sample company, but I figured out how to show you the new interface. I'm going to show you how that's different. And then we're also going to do our drawing. So, all right. And yes, it's being recorded. Okay. It's going to be on YouTube shortly. Okay. So where were we? Deferred revenue, blah, blah, blah. We created that. Oh, the sales price rate. We forgot that. 220. No, 2200. Okay. So now we're going to click save and close. Okay. All right, that was saving and closing the account. So now we need to save and close the sales receipt. Okay, so this is going to the annual gardening package, which is connected to that liability account. So this amount of money we should see in the liability account. So let's go save and close. Let's take a look at that. The liability account is going to show up on the balance sheet. So if I go to standard reports, select balance sheet. Okay. Fun AI insights. All right. So here we go. We go down to the liabilities section. And here is our deferred service revenue. Okay. So now it's in there. And now the next thing is, all right, now we're going to move the money over like we talked about. Craig has done the work. And so we're now going to move some of that over. And in order to do that, we have to create a journal entry. Now, in order to understand journal entries, you have to understand debits and credits. So I'm going to go over my little spiel about debits and credits because I know that there are a ton of new people on here. And even the old people, old is not the right word. What's the right word? The people who've been around for a while typically love to hear my debits and credits explanation. Okay, let me pull up the right thingy. Experienced, seasoned, there we go, veterans. All right, awesome. All right, so let's talk about debits and credits so that you can understand. Actually, first let's pull up the journal entry so that you can see what it is we are talking about here. Okay, so here's the journal entry. And so we have a debit side and a credit side. So let's talk about that. All right, so here we go. That's not what I want. I want this. Okay. All right, so in double entry accounting, which is what we do, whenever you record something, you must record an equal amount on the other side. In other words, the entries must balance. So you can think of this like, I like to think of it as a seesaw, okay? And on one side you have debits, and on the other side you have credits. And as you add something on the debit side, you have to add an equal amount on the credit side so that they balance, okay? Now, in order to understand this, the first thing that you have to understand is that each type of account lives on one side or the other. This is referred to as the natural balance, okay? This is where they start, okay? And you have to memorize this. There is no way around it. You have to memorize where each type of account starts. When you started to read, you had to memorize the alphabet. Okay, I'm a musician, and so I had to memorize key signatures. There's just no way around it. You have to memorize it. But there are some ways that you can easily remember what is on what side. Okay, so if we go back to our seesaw and we draw a line down the middle, on the right-hand side is those accounts are where money comes from. On the left-hand side is where money goes. In other words, the destination, okay? So it's going to come from that is the credit side. When it is the destination, destination, that is the debit side. So where does money come from in any business? In any business, there are only three places that money comes from, okay? So the first is your income, Okay, so people pay you to do the thing. Okay, you sell the thing, you provide the service, whatever it is, people pay you, and that is income that's coming from customers. That's also referred to as revenue, and so that is the R. Okay, the other place, another place that money could come from is the owners. Okay, so the owners contribute money to get the business started. Okay, when an owner contributes money, that's referred to as equity. So equity accounts are also on the right-hand side. And what's the third place that money comes from? What's the third? Where else could you get money for a business? Where else could a business? Exactly. Loans, borrowed money, loans, credit cards, liabilities. Okay. So liabilities, those are the three things, the LER on the right-hand side. Okay. So now on the left-hand side, we have the destination. Okay. Or where the money goes. Okay. So where does money go in a business? It's only going to go to one of three things. The first is assets. Now, some of those assets are cash-based assets, so it's going to be a bank account, right? It's going to go in your checking account or your savings account. And some of those things are physical objects like vehicles or machinery, okay? But those are assets. That's what the money that the business holds on to. Another place that money could go is for expenses. Businesses have to pay for things all the time. Okay, so expenses. And then where's the last place that money goes? So money is it's an asset, right? It's into a physical thing. It pays out to vendors. Where else does money go? What's the last one? Yeah, my team's got it. There we go, Keisha. Good job. Back to the owners. Right. Oh, I forgot to put that E up. Okay. Back to the owners. Okay. So the owners get what's left. And when it's on this side, it's a distribution or a dividend. Okay. So that's how you can remember where things line up. That's what you have to remember is where they start. Okay. All right, so, oh, and I just have this little extra thing that I think is cool. There's on both sides, there's an owner's thing. On both sides, there's vendors and customers, so like other outside people. And then on both sides, there are institutions, so like banks. Anyway, it's just a cool little way that they line up. All right, so that's where they live. The next thing you have to know is you need to understand how they move. So in order to understand how they move, we're going to take you back to when you were in about 7th grade, I think is when they teach this. And I want you to, we're going to have our sheet. We're going to have debits on the left. We're going to have credits on the right. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention this. When people use the term, when accountants use the term debit as a verb, they always mean moving to the left. Okay. They always mean moving to the left. When they say credit as a verb, it always means moving to the right. Now, when you say debit as a noun or as an adjective, this is a debit account. That means it's on the left. If you use debit as a verb, so I want to debit this account, that's always going to be on the left. And if you say credit, okay, as a noun or an adjective, this is a credit account. That means it lives on the right-hand side. And if you use it as a verb, meaning I want you to credit this account, that means it's always moving to the right, okay? Where it gets difficult is when we use the terms increase and decrease. Okay, so what increases and what decreases. And so to help us remember that, this is when we're going to recall back to 7th grade math, okay? And we're going to draw a line, and I want you to remember back when you learned how to graph numbers, okay? When you learned how to graph numbers, you had a line up and a line across, and there was a 0 in the middle, okay? And on the right-hand side, you have positive numbers, and those positive numbers, when they increase, they go to the right. And when they decrease, they go to the left. Okay, so positive numbers, easy peasy, increases to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, decreases to the left, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. The challenge is when it becomes a negative, when we're talking about negative numbers. Okay, so negative numbers go further to the left. Okay, they go -1, -2, -3. Okay, so when a negative number increases, when it increases its negativeness, okay, when there is more negative, it's actually going further to the left. And when it decreases, when there's less of that thing, it's actually moving to the right. Okay? All right. So now that you have that, now that you have that in your brain, let's take a look at our journal entry and talk about how we and how we're going to do this, okay? So here's our plus new journal entry, okay? We created the journal entry. The first thing that we want to do is create a, give it a name, something that we come back to. Lindsay, this should be a step, not a note. So I don't know. So if you could make a note to like fix that. So I'm just telling Lindsay that this should be white, not green. But anyway, so I think what we have here is Rodriguez May Garden. Okay. All right. It looks like you have a ton of space there for your journal entry, but you actually only have 21 characters. I don't know why it's that way. Okay. So we're going to remember what we're doing, okay? We are taking money out of, when we created the sales receipt, we put money in the liability account. So now we're going to take money out of the liability account and put it into the income account, okay? So our account here is that deferred service revenue. Okay, here we go. It is a liability account. When we added money to it, there was more liability. Okay, now we're going to take money out of it. So where does the liability live? And what side do we need to put it if we're taking money out of it? Tara. Keisha says move from right to left. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing. So where does this account normally live? Let's start there. Where does the deferred service, where is its home side? Yes, it lives on the credit side because it's a liability. Okay, that's the first thing. Is there less liability or more liability? In this journal entry, what we're doing, is there less or more liability? Less liability, okay? So it's decreasing and it lives on the right-hand side and it's decreasing. That means it's going to be on the left-hand side. So those of you who said that, I think some of you did, left-hand side, Carl, good job. Okay, so what's the amount? it's whatever $2,200 is divided by 12. And we can just have QuickBooks do the math for us by typing 2,200 divided by 12. When I tab out, it does the math. All right. And so now we're going to put it in the services income account here. And I'm going to sneeze. Maybe not. All right. And it does the math, it automatically fills it out on the balancing. But remember, this is an income account. Income accounts live on the right-hand side. So when we're increasing that on the right-hand side, we add on the right. Okay, good job, everybody. All right. So that was that. Okay, so now we're going to hit save and close. We're still on the balance sheet here. So I can click this little button. Here is the refresh button. Uh-oh. There we go. I thought for a minute the sample company was gone again. Okay, so now here's our deferred service revenue is now decreased. And I can take a look at the profit and loss. Back to standard reports. Go to profit and loss. Okay, and we just put that in services. So if I click services, in case you didn't know this, any number that you see in QuickBooks Online on these reports, you can always click that number to see what transactions make up that number. Okay, so here's our journal entry. And it added $183.33 to that account. Okay. All right. So now that's the end of this account, or that's the end of this exercise. I'm going to go ahead and close this exercise here. As you know, as I gave a giant speech, we spent a lot of time in the beginning talking about the new interface that's coming. We do not yet, maybe we will before Monday, we'll see. We do not yet have a sample company that is in the new interface. However, I have access to a fake client. And so I'm going to now walk you through exactly what we just did and how it will be different in the interface. For this part, you'll just have to watch. All righty. So here is my sample client file. And here is this is the new experience. This is what's coming to your clients on Monday, not you, your clients. You're going to get a whole new dashboard after Intuit Connect. I don't know what the rollout is, but they're going to introduce it to everybody. But for now, your dashboard is going to look just like it normally does. And then they're going to, when you connect to a client, you'll see this new. Now you can opt them out of that. You click the gear icon and it says switch your client back to the previous QuickBooks experience, and you would click switch right there if that was what you wanted to do. Okay. Now, basically what's happened is that each of what used to be called centers are now being called apps. And the reason they're being called apps is because each of these centers is run by an AI, a little solo AI agent, okay? And so the things that you're used to seeing up on the left navigation bar are now up at the top, okay? And you can pin three of these centers, or what they're calling apps. You can pin 3 of them. We did that last week. Today, I just want to focus, because we got so much to cover today. I just want to focus on what we just did, okay? So the plus new button is being replaced with this plus the create button, which is hilarious to those of us who have been around for a long time because it used to be the plus, it used to be called the quick create button. And now they've gone back. Then for years they called it then it became the plus new button, and now they've gone back to, I don't know if they're calling it quick create, but it's create. Okay. But you'll notice that this pop out is exactly the same as it was. So now when I go to my sales receipt, you'll notice that the experience is identical. Okay. It looks exactly the same as what we just did in the sample company. Now, when you create a new product and service, remember how we had to create we had to create a service that was connected to the deferred income account. Okay. This is new. So you click add new, and notice that it goes straight to creating the account. It used to be that you had to stop and specify whether it was an inventory, whether it was a product or service inventory bundle. Remember that? That step is now eliminated. You don't do that. And it took me forever. I'm still trying to figure it out right now. No, I'm kidding. It took me so long, so long to figure out how to change the type. But it is just right here. It's a drop down now. Okay. So it's a drop down now. Other than that, it's all identical. Okay. So that's just the new little thing. The income account, if you create the new income account, the experience here is exactly what you're used to. So for the majority of what we're going to be doing, it's the same thing. It just looks a lot different on the front. Okay. And they've been building out like all of the little individual centers. They've been building those out over time. We all saw it. We all saw like the new invoice when it came out. We all saw the new, well, last week we talked about purchase orders. So that has, gotten a facelift. They all got their individual little facelifts first. And I listened into a podcast and they said that was by design, so that we'd be familiar with it. And then now it's just this top part that is getting a facelift. So it's going to take us a while to know where to find things. But in general, it's the same. So my apps, if I go here, that's what I'm used to on the left navigation bar. Okay. So, so that's that. All right. Should we do the drawing next or should we do the marketing prompt next? Let's, what do you think, guys? You ready for the drawing or are you ready for the marketing prompt? Let's do the marketing prompt. We'll keep the drawing. We'll keep the drawing to like as icing on the cake. Okay. All right. So let's talk about marketing prompts. Are you going to show us how to switch back to the old version? I did. Yes. I showed that right when I pulled it up, but I'll do it again. Share my screen. Da, ba, 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 ba. Okay, so here you go to the gear icon, and right here it says switch your client back to the previous experience. And you'll only be able to do that through the end of September. Beginning in October, you will, like everyone has switched over, that's it, no going back. Okay, all right, so stop share. Oh, why did I stop the share? I can't remember. Okay, let me just get this situated. What are we doing? We're doing the marketing prompt. All right. So, in the QBO Gym, let's see, where is my right page? Okay, there we go. So in the QBO Gym, we provide you with marketing prompts. So as you learn something, you unlock marketing prompts so that you know how to talk about it. The reason this came up is because I had created the gym and I just kept hearing people say, "Oh, I know I'm supposed to post on social media, but I don't know what to say." And I just kept thinking, how do you not know what to say? You're learning something new every day. And so, but after a couple of months, I finally said, "Oh, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to create these marketing prompts." And so now, as part of the gym, is you learn as you learn a section, you actually unlock the marketing prompts that go with that section. For the exercise of the week, we give you a marketing prompt for each exercise. So today, I'm not still sharing. Okay. Today's marketing prompt is this. All right. All right. And we like to call them QBO quick tips. We like you to position yourself as a QuickBooks Online Pro advisor. Here's why. If you just tell people that you are a bookkeeper, then the only time people are going to talk to you is when they need a bookkeeper. Okay. However, there's, I don't know, millions and millions, maybe close to 1 billion users of QuickBooks Online. So if you position yourself and you say, I'm a QuickBooks Online Pro advisor, then people are more likely, oh, I use QBO. Oh, I know so-and-so that uses QBO. I like to tell this story that I was at the gym and I was just talking to the receptionist one day and she says, "Oh, what do you do?" And I said, "Oh, I teach QuickBooks Online." And she immediately said to me, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I know 2 people who need you right now." So if you say you're a QuickBooks Online Pro advisor, it gives you a little bit more clout, gives you a little bit more to say. So as a QuickBooks Online Pro advisor, you can go on your social media and provide QBO quick tips. And here's today, the one today. It says paying for a full year in advance, like insurance or software, don't expense it all at once. Oh, this is the opposite. Oh, I did this wrong, guys. Okay, here's what I did. When I first started writing marketing prompts, I did them all myself. And then, I don't know, those of you who've been around for a while, those of you who are seasoned here at Acadian, know that like a couple months ago, I said, I wonder if ChatGPT could write these. And so I started I started by giving it a bunch of my previous QBO quick tips, okay, my previous marketing prompts. And I also gave it the accompanying scribe exercise so that it could see like here's how I did it before, so it could kind of get a sense for me. And so now it knows me, and so we actually provide, Joel put in the chat a link to the ChatGPT thread that I use. I didn't update it for today, but anyway, but you can still see like my past ones. And it knows all this history, so you can just like use it to write your own marketing prompts. But here, look how it's backwards. This is paying for a full year in advance, like insurance or software. Well, it basically works the same way. If you pay for something in advance, okay, then that's an asset. And then over time, you move it into your expenses. But that's not what we did today, is it? What we did today was the opposite. We collected a full year in advance, but we can't record it as income until, over time. So this needs to be rewritten, okay? I don't know why ChatGPT gave it to me, because it was clearly the opposite. So yeah. Anyway, so you can use this in ChatGPT. So you can like use this, you can use it for your social marketing prompts. If you are struggling with getting clients, you don't understand like how to start doing that, you can, we offer a free Getting Clients toolkit. So you get the Getting Clients toolkit automatically with any of our core courses. So if you purchase Bookkeeping Fast Track, which we've been talking about today, if you purchase the QBO Gym, and if you purchase the cleanup course, then you automatically get this. But we are offering it to anybody for free. So if you don't have one of those 3 courses and you would like our Getting Clients toolkit, you can. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And you would like the Getting Clients toolkit. It includes training on Canva, training on, to like create your logo and your QBO quick tips on it. It contains training on Calendly, how to use LinkedIn. There's alignable training. So anyway, so all of that stuff, there's a marketing webinar that we did. There's a special message from Gary Vee, a special message from Dan Martell. Like there's just like, it's all in there and you guys all have access to it if you bought any of our core courses. If you haven't, and you would like that, then just reach out to us. We also have a Getting Clients cohort. So that's the Getting Clients toolkit, contains everything you want. But if you would like to join with other people and get group support to work through the materials and market your business, we have a cohort. In order to participate in the cohort, and this is new, anyone who's in the August cohort that starts today, you're golden, you're good to go. But starting with the September cohort, or actually, I don't know, Lindsay, maybe we already had the rule in place, but you have to have finished Fast Track or finished the gym or purchased, okay, so it was in place for August, or purchased the cleanup in order to qualify for the cohort. That's the part. Everybody can have the marketing materials, but in order to be in the cohort, which is where you work with each other, support each other. We guarantee that you'll get a diagnostic review in the process. It includes mindset training. So if you're struggling putting yourself out there, if you're camera shy, if you're like all of these excuses that are keeping you from actually marketing your business, we're going to address them head on in the cohort. And Joel has put the link to that today. All right. I think we're ready for the drawing. Oh my gosh, this didn't go as long as I thought it was going to go today. So let's talk about who is in the drawing. We've got 19 people in the drawing today, which means we will have one drawing. We do one drawing for every 25 people that qualify to enter. I will show you how you enter. No, the prize mark is not a new car. Click share. Okay. All right. So, in the Facebook group, okay, we have these things called guides, and every month of the gym, remember I said that the gym is a full year of simulated experience being a bookkeeper, okay? And every month has a different theme. So for example, in February, and by the way, February is the free challenge. So if you want to try this, just try it out. So these are all of the things you learn how to do in February. And then these are all of the things, can you see it's kind of tiny? These are all of the things you learn how to do in March. And these are all the things you learn how to do in April. So if you're curious about how, like what all is covered in the gym, go to the guides and then you can see in April how so April, it looks like there's some loans and unbilled charges. Oh yeah, this is the one where we do delayed charges. So anyway, so you can see all the stuff that's covered. And then every time that you remember, I said it's gamified. So every time you earn a badge, so you earn badges every month that you complete, and every time you earn a badge, you have the opportunity to enter the drawing. And the way that you enter the drawing is so you'll get a little notice, you'll get an email that says, hey, woohoo, share your aha. So basically, you just go in and you share your aha on that month. Now, remember I said that each month takes about 3 to 4 hours to do. So in an entire actual calendar month, so these are all the July entries, somebody could potentially have like 12 entries in here. So you'll see I noticed a couple people that have multiple entries. That's because they completed multiple months, and every time they complete a month, they have an opportunity to enter. So all you have to do is do an AHA. So here's Uyi. She's on the call right now. She says, my most significant AHA this month was the workflow on recording a customer refund. It left me curious about the impact of this workflow on the AR report. I noticed it left a 0 on the report. Still curious. I really enjoy the gym. I'm gaining confidence over the title, QuickBooks Pro Advisor. And let's see, these are all old. I'm seeing some old ones here. So let's look at July. All right, so Rebecca says there's so many more QBO features online than when I did bookkeeping online. A bookkeeping job that would have taken 1 day 10 years ago now only takes 1 to 2 hours. So much more efficient. I'm learning so many new shortcuts, tips and tricks with this fundamental QBO gym training. I wish I could continue going after my 5-day trial is over. So yeah, so she apparently got all the way through July in her free trial. And then let's see. Oh, Keisha, here we go. Establishing a proper, which one is this? August. Establishing a proper workflow is golden. I appreciate how each and every warm-up exercise starts us or reminds us to start with seeing what money has flowed into and out of the business. After processing this month's income and receiving payments, I added another tool to my bookkeeping resource kit, balance forward statements. Oh my gosh. Yes, girl. Yes. Why is this not automatically defaulted in QBO? I don't know. I like how this statement captures the payment history on a client's account and shows the remaining balance in an easy to read format. Hired a laborer. An aha moment for me was realizing that adding laborers in is as easy as ticking off a 1099 checkbox when creating a new vendor. Although tags seems like a neat feature, QBO is phasing them out, so getting more familiar with using classes, custom fields, and locations is best. Awesome. Yes, and we are, by the way, August is totally focused on tags, but we are rebuilding August. And August is going to be, I can announce that now, is going to be all about buying and selling fixed assets. So because we don't have anything like that in the gym currently, and so that's a great thing to replace it with. All right, so that's how, so leaving those ahas is how you get in the drawing. And here is the name. Now, I suspect that because I saw some old names in there, I suspect that that there are some names in there that shouldn't be because I think that we have a little mix up here. So I'm going to click the spinner, and then I'm going to go check to make sure that that person left the AHA in the month of July. So we'll see, because like the one I just read from Uyi was a long time ago. So, all right, let's click the, let's see, and then we'll go check it. All right, bum, 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 bum. So close, so close, so close. Kelly Brown, woohoo. Is Kelly on the call today? You do not need to be present to win. But let me check where did I go? Let me check. Oh, I'd have to check every single month because I don't know where. All right, we'll have to do that later. I heard Kelly is a bot. All right, so we will go and, oh, wait. I think there's a way I can do it. Hold on. We stop the share. I think I can use my admin tools to find the Kelly's post. Hold on. Let's see. 1 second. Who did we say? Kelly Brown. Kelly just joined about a month ago, so I think that these are going to be. She says, ready to get all hot and sweaty in the gym. Can't stop, won't stop. All right, so let's see. My admin tools don't let me find her post in the thing, but I'm pretty sure because she's relatively new, I think that was a valid winner. So yay, Kelly. All right, let's see. Now it's time. All right, so I'm done. It's a little after 12:30 Eastern. Now I'm going to go back through all of the old, or not the old, I'm going to go through all of the chat comments that I did not get, but if you need to leave, then I totally get it. I understand. So let's see. Going back, so Keisha says, going back to the exercise of the week, can you also use a credit memo to process prepayments? Is using a journal entry more efficient? I would not use a credit memo. No, I would not. No, I wouldn't use a credit memo. That's not going to show up correctly on the books. The credit memos don't hit the books at all. Like you can't run, like you're not going to see on the journal entry or on the like on the balance sheet that there's a bunch of money in credit memos, I don't think. All righty, let's see. How do you qualify for the drawing? I think I just told you. All righty. I love how you guys love each other. All right, let's see. Tara, it's funny but not a coincidence that Margie covered this exercise today. I was just wondering how I would record that transaction in my books because I remember that it had to be recorded differently. Right on, Tara. Good job. All right, let's see. There was a bunch of, let's see. So this is Tara again. I have a client that is paying me in full for her services for the rest of the year. Should I record it as we just did the exercise? Yes, ma'am. Yes, you should. Exactly. Billy says, do you suggest we charge for training for the new interface? No, I mean, unless you have some kind of a training agreement with them already. Yeah. One thing that Corey, I know she was on the call earlier today. She's one of our team members here and has created the cleanup course. One of the things that she has done for her clients is she keeps a library of looms that cover like specific topics. So you could just create like one loom for all of your clients and then just share with them, hey, on Monday this is happening and here's how you get around. So you could do that rather than having an individual training for each client. Yeah, I don't know that I would do that. Okay, let's see. Let's see what else do we have? I'm going back. There was some conversation about the whether it was 12 months, 13 months, 11 months. Okay. So the way that we set it up, we set up all 12 months. And then the first month, you then would transfer it over. Okay. Now, you could say that you're going to be doing that first month in the same month that you recorded that. So you could potentially create the sales receipt for the first month, because that one is actually income, and then spread out the remaining 11 months over time. That's a thing we do teach it that way in other, like in the gym maybe. And by the way, since it's the same amount of money, I didn't talk about this at all, but since it's the same amount of money every time, you could set up a recurring journal entry and just have it populate every time. So, um, yeah. So a bunch of ways to do it. The important thing um, is to know conceptually. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. Anna said, could you also make this recurring since it's every month? Yep, exactly. Let's see. So then there was questions or you guys all participating while we were doing the debits and credits. Uyi said you will be groomed in debits, credits, and QBO when you work with Margie. Look at Lindsay and Joel responded to all these questions. That's right. Oh, let's see. All right. So now we're just participating. Let's see. Sorry. Replays. Yes, we post replays of this temporarily in the Facebook group, and then once it's on YouTube, it doesn't work, and that link doesn't work anymore. You have to watch it on YouTube. All right, bunch of questions about the sample company. All right, I think I got everything. Let me scroll down to the bottom again. Tiffany says, how do we take our clients through the new platform when we do not have access to the new platform in the sample company? Isn't that an interesting question? That's why we need to flood the feedback, flood the feedback, flood the feedback, flood the feedback. And that's another thing you can say. I would really like to show my clients around, or I would really like to create a demo video. So yeah, that's a great question. I'm just going to put this one up because it makes me feel good. Thank you, Margie, for investing so much time and effort into our businesses. You are a rare gem. Aw, and very much appreciated. That's so sweet. Let's see. Oh, they're asking questions about Loom. Let's see. I thought these videos were posted to YouTube, and now I can't find the old ones. They are posted on YouTube, and you're looking for the ones that say live stream. So let's see. How do I go to, yeah, your videos? So it looks like the last one, okay, so it starts with let's practice QBO. And you can tell because they're the really long ones. And the most looks like last week's isn't on there yet. The week before, while I was gone, Lindsay did it, and so that's on there. So yeah. So just go to our videos and look for Let's Practice QBO. Okay, let's see. All right, Kristen needs the exercise link for today. Tara says, I was fortunate to get a new client that has the new interface, and that gave me the opportunity to find my way around it. Good. Irma says, do we get a certificate for the gym? Yes. When you finish the first year of the gym, you get a certificate that says you have one year's worth of experience using QuickBooks Online. And there's actually currently 2 years worth of content for the gym. So when you do the second year, then you get another certificate that says you have 2 years of experience using QuickBooks Online. All right, let's see. What else? So there's some conversation about Loom. Lindsay says you can save 25 videos for free. You're limited to 5-minute long videos. Loomis, oh my gosh, it's so worth it. I don't know. I don't know what the monthly subscription is, but it's so worth it. All right. Let's see. Did I get everyone's questions? Oh, Holly says regarding the new interface, when is the deadline to decide whether we want to upgrade to it? Well, from now until the end of September, you can opt out. Okay, so beginning on Monday, they're transitioning everybody over to it. But if you're connected to an accountant, then the accountant, like we saw, can switch people back over. And that's only through the end of September. Beginning October 1st, you can't opt out. So like this is not an upgrade situation. This is happening. It will happen to you. You just have a chance to opt out until October 1st. All right, let's see. Did we get all, I think that I got all of the questions. All right, I think that's it, guys. Phew. All righty. Well, guys, I hope you are having a wonderful day. We have so many exciting things planned for you. I have one big announcement that I was hoping I could announce today, but I can't quite yet. Make sure that you are getting our emails. We send out the agenda for this so you know what we're going to be covering here, as well as our newsletter. Both of those go out on Friday morning. If you're not seeing them, please write to support at AKADIAN, support@acadian.com, so we can make sure that you know all of the goings on here. And let's see, don't forget to start thinking about your activity. Like, again, I don't know whether I'm going to do a giveaway this year. I don't know, because honestly, last year was not as fun for me. The very first time I did it, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like Oprah. This is amazing. Last year was not as fun. So I haven't decided yet, but I need to see, the main thing is that I need to see you stepping up. And not caving into excuses. You need to get out of your own way. If you want to be successful, if you want to ride the AI curve, if you want to be in business, if you actually want to make money, if you actually want to help business owners, if you actually want to make a positive impact in the world, then do it. Do it. Take action. And I will see how many of you are taking action, and that will help me decide whether I want to do a giveaway. Because, when you give away stuff, people don't value it as much. So, I don't know. All right, that's my speech for today. I didn't get too spicy today. Let's see. If it's happening, may as well practice with it now. That's right. Talking about the new upgrade. All right, that's it, guys. I am out, and very mild spice, mostly excited. Yes. All right, guys. That's it for me. You have a wonderful weekend. I will see you on Monday for This Week at Acadian. I expect you to knock it out of the park, and I can't wait to hear your success story.